When patients think about a hair transplant procedure, they usually think about one thing: density. So a lot of the times in consultations, I've been asked, how many grafts can you do in a session or in multiple sessions? How dense can the result be? How can you make it look natural, and what's the maximum thickness you can achieve? But often I found that the reality is that the best hair transplants are quite possibly not the densest ones, but are the ones that are, let's say, more strategically, intelligently designed. Because I believe natural hair restoration is built on these subtle details that quite a few of the patients never notice, which are the transition zone, the side profile, that illusion of density, and understanding that the donor area is finite and it does have its limits. And these are often exactly the things that separate the natural result from a result that slowly starts to look artificial over the years. Today, I'd like to discuss a few of the, let's say, misunderstood concepts in modern hair transplantation and how these have changed over the years. Not the marketing, not the well-known social media before and afters, but these finer surgical details that actually determine whether a result will look natural in the long term. Because patients often focus on the wrong things, and sometimes the most important parts of the hair transplant are the things that, let's say, nobody pays attention to. One of the biggest misconceptions in hair restoration is that density is not just about graft numbers. It is also about an illusion. So a patient might hear different opinions. Let's say, for example, 4,000 grafts, 5,000 grafts, mega sessions, but these numbers alone do not create that natural fullness. The visual perception of density depends on quite a lot of factors, such as the hair caliber, the hair color, what is the contrast with the scalp, a lot of the curliness, the lightening, the effects, the styling, and also the placement of the grafts. Sometimes I found that, let's say, a relatively moderate graft number can look incredibly dense when the distribution and the angulation is performed correctly. And on the other hand, there are cases when very high graft counts can still look unnatural or weak if the overall design has been a poor one. The human eye does not analyze graft numbers. It will most likely interpret the shadow effect, the softness, the natural transition, the facial framing, and this is why hair transplantation should not be regarded simply as extraction and graft placement, but a lot of it is about architecture and proper planning and considering how that particular transplant will look over the coming years and ensuring that it will age in a natural and together with the patient's face.